Hey there, it's Brooklyn. So great to have a few minutes with you. I'm going to be super quick, but just thought it might be helpful to give you some answers to some of the more commonly asked questions so that you can see whether or not momentum is the right next step for you in your private practice. Okay, so I've just put questions on screen that I get asked all the time, and I'm going to respond to them for you right now. Okay, so first off, people always say, well, who's it for? It is really for, it doesn't matter what the profession is, okay? There are people in momentum at the moment from all kinds of different backgrounds. Yes, there's counselors, psychologists, social workers, but there are other professional people in there too, right? So, in terms of profession, everybody. In terms of where you're at in the business, I would say most of the people in momentum have tried things before that didn't work. Either they tried to do a course, but they rarely logged into it, or they had business coaching before, but the business coaching didn't really work for them for whatever reason. They have, asked supervisors for help with running the business, and that hasn't really worked for them. And so, yeah, they're here because they're trying to overcome some kind of challenge or obstacle. And those challenges and obstacles are usually around visibility, recruitment, marketing, finances, those kinds of things. So, this is in terms of personality and attitude, it's really for someone who um, values being able to get support in the moment. So, not like, I don't know, you might buy a course and then you just never log into it. Or, if you go and work with somebody else, maybe you get to see them for an hour once a month, right? You don't want to be stockpiling your challenges and problems in the business waiting for that 1 hour. So it works really, really well if you're somebody who loves to implement things, if you like help in the moment, if you need flexibility, and if you're really, 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 really busy. So there are people in momentum at the moment that are doing things like finishing their masters, they're in momentum and they're building their practice while they're in full-time study as single women in business, right? So it works. That's who it's for. Okay, so I created it for a few reasons. And very quickly, I wanted to create a business model that would flex with me and my well-being. So, as you probably know, if you've been in my world for a little while, I do have both ADHD and ADID. And so I wanted to create a way of working that fits with my energy. Plus, I really, really, really love being responsive. So it's one of my things. Again, if you've been in my world for a little while, I get back to people super quickly and I love to over deliver. So this was a way that I could create a model for my business that let me do both of those things, but without being locked into needing to be in online Zoom sessions, when maybe my energy wasn't there. Okay. It also flexes to the time of the women that I work with because many women wanted to come and work with me in other offers that I had, whether it was the certification course, whether it was the marketing program, things like that. But they would either buy the courses and never log in because I was just so busy it would get deprioritized, or they just couldn't find the time and they didn't want something extra to add onto their plates. So, having this flexible voice coaching means that they can message me and get help whenever they want. For a full year, 365 days, they can reach out 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they know that they're always going to get a response from me really quickly to help them in the moment. And I really believe it's that level of responsiveness and doing things in the moment that is causing some of the really just they're wild results, right? I'm going to share some of them with you in a moment, but the results that the women in the program get are so good so quickly, I believe, because it's on demand help in the moment when you need it, right? So now I mentioned to you about results. I'm just going to show you something quickly because I know a lot of this is on the waitlist page already. But, I asked them, oh, what's momentum giving you that you didn't have before? And, it was really interesting what came out. It was like support, confidence, guidance, help, optimism, light at the end of the tunnel, excitement for what is looking like my dream actually might be possible and able to come true. People talking about, using tools and techniques that I had shared around recruitment that, hey, within a couple of days of even putting the ad out, this lovely member in Momentum started to receive referrals, I was going to say, started to receive inquiries and applications from high quality candidates. Okay. It's a couple of weeks since she shared that with me, and she's since gone and hired them. They've now signed the contract and they're moving interstate to come and work at her practice. So she's like super pleased about that. And if you are in the process of expanding your business, you will know just how significant that is to be able to get good quality candidates applying for the job so that you can have your selection of who's going to be the best one to work for your business and with your beautiful clients, right? And then we've got other wins over here. So, really around visibility, marketing, getting clients, getting the money in. When people come into the program, one of the very first things that we do is a deep dive assessment of, okay, where is everything at? We just strip it all back and we look at what's happening in the business financially in terms of visibility, your goals, the strategies that you're using, what's working, what's not. We look at all of that. And then from there, create for you a very personalized 90-day plan so that you know exactly what to focus on every single week so that you can start to see the results, just like the women here. They all had 90-day plans. They all had, we sat down, we did it together, one-on-one, totally personalized, totally customized, and they're getting the results, right? And this is just 4 weeks in, okay? Because Momentum hasn't been open for that long. I think it's like coming into week 9 or something now at the time of recording this. So these are really fast results. There are other results that I can share with you that, within a week of joining, somebody had made back her investment. One of the other things that we do is we make sure that we're building sustainability into the practice. And that looks like creating financial stability, financial security, but also making sure that we've got sustainability processes in there for the business so that you can have not only the opportunity to do what is important to you as a practitioner, but also for you as a woman to have the space and the ability, capacity, and freedom to do the things that are important to you outside of and around the business, like externally. Okay. So, and maybe that might be, time off. Maybe it might be traveling. Maybe it might be working less hours, but not worrying about the money, all those kinds of things. So, they're really big focuses that we have, and we make these things happen. Somebody was saying, how do I actually help people simplify and not just add more to their plates? Very easy. That all happens with that initial assessment. So for some reason, like, I don't know if I've shared this with you before either, but I'm also autistic. You know how it is? Like, you find out that you've got ADD, and then, autism's like knocking on the door, and you go and get assessed and boom, you've got that too. So the way that I help you to simplify and get improved finances, get improved visibility, get more clients, improve the sustainability, all those kinds of things. It's just because I happen to have this knack for being able to spot gaps. We call it pattern matching in the ADD community. It's something that I've got. I just happen to have it when it comes to business. So what I often find is that the women who come to me, feel very tired, exhausted, drained because they have been working their fingers to the bone, doing all of the things that they thought they needed to do, but actually they're not getting a result because when I look at it, I'm like, no, you don't need to do that at all. Right? No, that's fluffing around. That's just busy work. You don't need to be doing any of that. And when they realize that they didn't need to be doing that, and, we create, I suggest to them, hey, what about we do this? Can we try that? Da, 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 da. They're open to it. Then what starts to happen is they get a little bit nervous initially because they're having to let go of patterns. They're having to let go of, you know, routines and, habits and things like that, and build out new ones. That always feels a little bit scary initially, but they're supported every single step of the way. And then they start to see that when they use this new approach, this new strategy that we make for them, the needle starts moving and the results start coming. So it's not about you doing more. It's not about you burning yourself out by even adding more onto what you're already doing. No, I will strip away for you the things that are costing you time and money and show you what you could be focusing on that will actually give you back your time and increase your cash flow. So that's kind of how it works. Now, of course, this program isn't for everybody, and you absolutely shouldn't join it if you're, um, obviously not coachable. Like that'll be like a counseling client that isn't, I was going to say counselable, but that's not the word, but you know what I mean. Like, there's no point you coming along if you don't want support, because this program is really about you having a whole year of support from me, one to one. That's what it's about. If you're not someone who likes that, then don't bother. Can we do technical things together? Yes, to a degree. I will, as we go along, identify gaps in your resources and things like that, and I'll do my best to plug them for you. I'm more than happy to make you templates, swipe files, all the things. But there might be times when you want to do something a little bit technical. If I can help you with that, I will. In saying that, there's somebody who, has she has self-identified not tech savvy. She's gone and made her own website. So, and we were able to do that together, right? I'm not going to do things for you. This is not a done for you service. You're not going to come to me and say, oh, Brooklyn, you mentioned my website needs to be changed. Can you just go and fix it? No, I'm not going to go in and fix it. Um, that's not what this program is about. This program is about supporting you to do it yourself. So I will teach you how to do it for yourself. I will show you how to do it for yourself, because I'm never going to rob you of the lesson, and I'm never going to rob you of the growth. If I just do it for you, then it's like you're just paying me as like an assistant or something. That's not what this program is about. Momentum is a few things. It is a business consulting, which is the tactical things, right? It's the strategy, it's the how to, it's the what steps do I take, it's the planning, it's the resources, the nuts and bolts. But it's also business coaching, which is around other, I guess, non tangible things like, if there's mindset work that's getting in the way of you using a strategy. For example, if one of the things that comes up is re-looking at your fees and stuff like that, but you've got a mental block about it because you want to, I don't know, be affordable, or you think that the area that you're in, nobody can pay you that and stuff like that, then that's coaching stuff, right? Not strategy stuff. So momentum is an integration of both the business consulting and the business coaching. Okay. And my belief, 110%, is that you need three things all to be working optimally together in order to have a successful private practice. And those things are, you need the business strategy, you need the right mindset, i.e., beliefs, all that kind of stuff. But you also need to be managing your energy. Okay. Whether or not you believe in spirituality is by the by, but you need to be able to not be exhausting yourself, draining yourself, burning yourself out. If you do happen to believe in spirituality and things like that, well, that's amazing, because many of us in the community do too. And so sometimes we'll talk to each other about things like the universe or source or our higher self and things like that. Okay. But I think you need to have all three things in place. I don't believe that you can have a strategy that works, but a mindset that's stopping it and still be successful. No, I don't believe you can have a growth mindset or a business owner mindset, but still have a business that works for you without any sound strategy. And I don't believe either of those work if you're feeling tired, right? Because when you're feeling tired, you can't think clearly, you can't make good decisions. Do you see what I'm saying? So, anyway, that's my little lens there. And my strong point of view is that, so many times when I spoke to women in the current round before they joined, they were saying to me that they wanted my help because they're bad at marketing, or they're bad at getting clients, or they're bad at making money in their business, or they're bad at recruiting and stuff. And I just want to say, if that's you too, and you're thinking like there's something bad that you're doing with the business, no, it's not that at all. It's probably just that you were never shown and you were never taught. That's all. And so a big part of momentum is making sure that you understand, know where the business is not because of you not being competent or imposter syndrome or anything like that. No, it's just because there are business skills that you don't learn when you're learning how to be a practitioner. Okay. And that's why we see such a difference in, there's women practitioners who also have a business, but then there's women in business who are also therapists, right? We want to get you to the place where you're a woman in business who also is a therapist. Um, very different mindsets, things like that. So, this is what we do. And this is what creates the results, that on demand help when you need it, that in the moment help when you need it. It's entirely voice based. We're not going to, be on Zooms for an hour a week or an hour a month, eating into your precious time. No, that model does not work. So many times people rock up to those sessions with nothing to say, or there was an issue that happened in between, but it's since been, sorted out. Like, no, it's just that model is broken. It doesn't work. What's working now is this model right here of being able to access all the support that you want and need in the moment that you want and need it. Okay. So when you join the waitlist, what's going to happen is it doesn't cost you anything, right? So you will just put in your name and contact details. You'll click the button that says that you want to apply. A new page will pop up. It will say, "Great, welcome to the waitlist page." What's going to happen is you will be able to submit an application. I will look at those applications closer to when we're opening. Okay. Um, on the application, you're going to be asked a bunch of questions about where you're at with the business now, or, what the challenges are, all those kinds of things. There will also be options on there for you to share other information with me that's important to you. If you're wondering about the money, you have options there as well. So you can join the program and pay in full. You're most welcome to do that. There's big savings for you if you do. If you don't, or you're not in the position to, that's totally fine as well. You can do split pay. The other option is you could pay monthly for 12 months, or if that is too much for you in the business at the moment, that's understandable as well. You might want to take up the other option. I have partnered with Kelly from a Lifestyle Finance. And you may be able to take a finance option if you like, where you would just pay $58 a week, right? So if that's something that you want to do, all that information is in the application, and we'll just go from there. I will let you know closer to when the doors open, about like the progress of your application. And then, because when you go on the wait list, you get early access. So you will actually get access to the program 72 hours before everybody else. Now, if those 10 places are taken before the doors open, well, the doors just won't open. Okay. It's that easy. If, I don't know, 7 of those places are taken by waitlist people, then when the doors open, there will really legitimately, seriously only be capacity to take 3 more people. Okay. So that is why you want to get on the wait list. Now, also, the wait list doesn't commit you to anything. You can always say no. You don't have to pay to be on the wait list or anything like that. You can change your mind, not a problem. Okay, the reason that I'm only accepting a small number of people this round, so there are currently 17 private practice owners or women in the program. The reason that I'm only accepting 10 in the next intake is because I want to make sure that I can give everybody all of the support that they're really, really wanting. And I'm just being mindful of my time. I want to not burn out myself. And this program, while it is such a flexible rhythm, right? You just reach out for help as you need it, when you need it. You can reach out to me any day of the week if you want. There will be times also where, I don't know, you might go for 2 or 3 weeks at a time without even reaching out. That's totally fine. You're going to find your own little rhythm, but there's only the 10 places available just because I want to be mindful of my own energy, okay, and yours. What would I say to someone who's feeling the pull but hesitating? I would say a couple of things. Number one, if you're hesitating because you think you're too busy and you're finishing a degree and you just don't know if you have the time for it, I would say, don't worry, you absolutely do have the time for it. You can message me in between lectures. You can message me at breakfast. You can message me in the library. This program zigs to your zag. If you're finishing your degree and your goal, your dream is to open up the business, you're going to need to know how to open up the business, right? And so I've got ways to help you, and we do it on your timeline. So yes, this is absolutely going to work for you. It's not going to eat into more of your time. If you're thinking, oh yikes, it feels like, a lot of money, it feels like 10,000 is a lot of money. It is $10,000 at the moment, but it may be going up again at the next intake to 15. And I'll tell you why. It's because the value is totally, totally, totally unprecedented. The results are unprecedented. This is an important program that will actually give you everything that you need to go from where you are now in the business to where you want it to be. I would say, if the money is an issue, think about it in a couple of ways. First off, I would say, what are you making? The $10,000, it's what it is at the time of recording. If you're watching this later and it's more, I'm sorry. um, but if you're thinking, oh yikes, that's a lot of money, what are you making it mean? Right? Are you making it mean that that's bad? Or what are you saying to yourself about it? Like, are you saying I can't afford it? If you're saying you can't afford it, then I would say to you, okay, I absolutely appreciate, so many of us don't have 10,000 lying around in our bank accounts, but how important is it to you to actually get the business where you want it to go? And this investment here of the $10,000, could it return itself pretty quickly to you, and more and more and more as the months and years go on, because you will have put the sustainable foundations in place that will ensure that the money continues to come back to you. The other thing I would say is there's always the finance option there. It's about $58 a week. That's not even half a session fee. So surely that would be within your budget. If you're still thinking, oh, well, I don't know about that because, it's finance and I don't know, maybe you're saying to yourself, oh, I don't want to have a debt. Well, again, what are you making it mean about having a debt? So I would say to you as a business coach, it's really common and normal for businesses to take out loans for their business and to do things for their business. It's part of business. And also I would get you to, I guess, reflect a little bit on what you're making it mean. You might be thinking, well, I don't want to go into debt. And then I would say to you, okay, well, is debt a good thing or a bad thing? You might say, oh, it's bad because then I'll owe you money. I'll owe somebody money. But I would say, well, there is good debt too. And a good debt is something that's going to replenish itself. It's going to be self-liquidating. It's going to give you back a really helpful thing that you need for your business. Do you know what I mean? We have good debts, we have bad debts. So maybe think about how you're viewing the money. Something else, maybe a different way again, is what's it going to cost you in terms of lost revenue for your business if you don't get help? Right? It probably cost you a lot more than $10,000. If you're already in business and you've been trying to create financial stability, for example, and it's not working for you, how much money are you losing? This is one of the things that we do in the business assessment when you first start with us. we look at that. We look at how much money has the business been missing out on, and how do we get it back? And you then get the strategies to get that money coming back into the business. Do you see what I mean? So they're just a few little things. Also, maybe think about your money stories. What's coming up for you around money. Is there a wound there that might need to be healed? Maybe even thinking about, I don't know, embodying like the successful version of you in her business, like however you define success, because it's different for us all, right? But thinking about the way you define success, can you tap into that version of you? What would she say about getting help now? Right? Would she say, go for it? Would she say, don't? Do you know what I mean? Did she get help with the business, or did she manage to wing her way to, these results? And if so, how long did it take her? Did she have any regrets? All of that. You've got opportunities there to do some of the work. And as I said, when you join the waitlist, you don't need to commit. You're not committing to anything. You're just putting your cap in the ring so that, we can make sure that when the doors open, if you want a place, you can be one of the 10. Okay. And it's like in order of people who apply. Okay. It's not just like if we get 35 applicants, or if we get 135 applicants, or 500. I'm not randomly choosing people, right? The people that come in, that apply, that are ready to go, they're going to get given a place in order that they applied. All right. So, if you are wanting to put your cup in the ring, if this is something that you're thinking, yep, okay, this sounds really good, even if you're just a little bit hesitant, maybe go ahead and put in an application anyway, because doing so would reserve your spot in the queue if you do decide that this is something for you. Okay. But yeah, you just have to read the page, hit the green button, one of them, there's a few of them on the page. It'll take you to pop in your name and contact details, hit I want to apply. New page will pop up with some simple instructions, a form that seriously it's only going to take you 2 or 3 minutes to fill out, and then you're done. And yeah, best of luck. Best of luck. Thank you so much for watching my video. And yeah, if you've got any questions, of course, send me an email or connect with me on socials. Thank you. Bye.